Hey, it's Jim. Today we're looking at the AostirMotor. I think that's how you said it. I'm going to put up the pronunciation I was given by the company. S05. Here we have a closer look at the S05. 7-speed drivetrain with a derailleur protector, spring front fork, plastic bash guard on the chain ring. A nice looking bike. This particular bike comes in a couple different wheel choices. There's a spoked one and a fat tire one, but they share the same basic frame. Frame geometry, dimensions, specs will all be down in the description. I'll talk a little bit about geometry as I'm riding. We're going to do some trail riding, but this is a comfort cruiser commuter bike. You're like, well, wait a second. It looks like a full suspension mountain bike. It does look like one, and I think this company has a sense of humor. There's some fun little badging. The bike says RC3. Like I said, the name on the website says S05. It's not really a full suspension mountain bike. We're going to do some trails, and I'm going to show you how that is. It has very basic spring middle shock and forks with preload, but there isn't any rebound or anything, so it's just kind of bouncy. So it works really good from comfort perspective. Comfort saddle. You got a comfort springs, and it looks like a mountain bike, so it's kind of fun. So as far as a commuter bike, the things it doesn't have, you would expect, there's no place to put a water bottle, there's no place to put racks or anything there on the back. So you'd be doing what I'm doing today on this ride, is riding with a backpack. Little pet peeve of mine, the battery does not come out, so you have to leave this in. You can take the battery, I'll take a picture of this off the bike. Little handle here to carry it, charge ports over there. It has 2 locks. It does feel like it actually kind of jams already, and I have a feeling if you kept taking this off regularly, you'd probably break one of these latches. So my advice would be to leave this on the bike and probably try to charge this on the bike. You got integrated lights. You got better than I expected tires and reinforced eyelets on these 26-inch rims. So this level 0. I'm going to see what I can get up to with moderate effort. It feels very heavy. You feel the resistance. No throttle assist level 0. A little bummer for a mountain, quote-unquote mountain bike. A little bit of a hill there. So you could probably ride at 10 miles per hour. So I'm above. Here's speed limit 1. Just turning off to make contact with the Cadence Sensor. Speed limit 2, same situation. Somewhere up to maybe 16. Speed limit 3. In the 18 range. We have an open section of trail, so I'll go ahead and go to 4. I usually wouldn't do that if there's some people around. So I'm kind of spinning out at this speed in 4 and now 5. You can see what the wattage draw down in is there. Definitely, and I'm totally spinning out. Slow back down. So by the speedometer, it looks like we got up to 27.6. Like I said, I'm losing contact with the pedals at about 23. Handlebar, you know, I'm 5 foot 10 inches, and the reach is pretty dang good for my height. Balance on this bike is not great. Some of these less expensive frames, I just think the frame quality isn't quite there, so you don't have a very balanced bike. I really think this is a comfort cruiser that looks like a full suspension mountain bike. So if you like that look, but that you're riding more like a cruiser, this could be a good option. Thanks. I tend to find I ride in assist level 2 and 3 a lot. The one thing you should know about these kind of base level assist sensors, and I'm going to do a little on and off. You see it just comes in with whatever the force is at that assist level, and it pushes up to whatever the limit of that is. So it's not speed related. So the assist comes in pretty strong, depends on what assist level you're in, and you pretty much have to ride at the top of the assist level if you want to keep pedaling. If you want to stop start, you have a little more flexibility. 500 watt rear motor, says 80 Newton meters of torque. It doesn't feel as torquey as a Bafang, which are only rated at 65, so I'm not sure I believe that stat. We're going to see if we can get up this hill and do a little trail riding. I'll show you the kind of stuff I think this can do, but let's see what we got. Come on now. So right there I use the brakes with the cutoffs. If you're doing any sort of trails with this bike, you're going to find yourself doing that a lot. Because even in assist level 1, it quickly gets you up to beyond where you might want to ride on a trail speed-wise. I'll put all my performance stats on the screen. It feels like a 500 watt hub motor. It is. So it doesn't perform any differently than you might think. Some of the specs I measured are different than what's on the website, and range-wise, I actually exceeded what the range was listed at 40 miles on a couple of my range tests. I'll post the results from this. This will be more a little faster riding and some trail riding. For a lot of this, I would probably be riding without assist and hoping to just add a little throttle, like I was saying. Because I don't really, with this, there's some spots that I wouldn't want to get too squirrely on. And if you're in too low of a gear, you just lose contact with the drivetrain really quickly with a cadence sensor like this, which can be a little, a little bit of a different feeling. Now you could ride just throttle only if you're into that. I personally don't, that's not my riding style, but if that is, you might like the setup. It's a little bit like a small tractor. So you can hear that fork, how that bounces around. You can hear it making some chattery noise. This bike is, I do quite enjoy this bike. It is so cushy. It's like a comfort bike with this a little bit of off-road capability. So it's pretty fun that way. And for me, it's kind of nice taking that strain off my back, which the full suspension does really well. Pick this up a little bit more. I mean, it doesn't do bad on just some little whoops, but I would actually feel okay with just riding a beach cruiser on this too. I'm gonna do a little throttle only, see how that feels. The throttle, maybe it doesn't have the greatest amount of control for doing that. You could probably still get used to it and dial it in. To me, it just doesn't feel quite as nice as pedaling. I'm going to just show you how this does on a hill. I'm not pedaling, and I'm going to keep it kind of at the same throttle position and see how much drop we have. So only a couple miles per hour drop on a little hill. Well, there you go. There's a look at the AostirMotor S05/RC3/Comfort Cruiser Full Suspension Mountain Bike, whatever you want to call it. It's a pretty fun bike, It's more comfortable than I expected, especially if you have some back issues and you kind of like the look, but you don't really need the performance, but you want the comfort. So, like and subscribe. See you on the next ride.
Catch the wave.